What? But it's gonna be alright. Yeah. Cause me and my clique, we don't give a fuck. Sweet Daddy, good job, good job. If you know that you can get it, let me know. I'm about to break this thing up. Let's go. If you know that you can get it, let me know. I'm about to break this thing up. If you want some, come get some.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this special Saturday edition of FTW Future Focus. I am your not-so-humble correspondent, Robert Black, and currently with me to my side is the founder of our feast, the president of FTW Network, former professional wrestler, promoter, and soon-to-be head bigwig at his place of business. He is the mastermind, Bobby Rogers. How you doing, sir?
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the FTW Future Focus. This is going to be a fun ride. Let me just shout out to Tony Motown Allen taking his mom back to Chicago. Deal with the snow, brother. Deal with the snow. At least it's clear up there, though, because they don't fix the snow down here. But, hey, stay safe. Also, Wendy, what's up? I know you watching or will be watching, and I think we're gonna let out some therapy today. I got some woosah to let out.
Thank you for joining us on FTW Future Focus.
I wasn't even trying to do that one, though.
Well, you make maximum effort every time, Bobby. Oh my God, we're on the board. Oh, good God. And even before we introduce the silent but deadly man from Chicago, Illinois, who I believe loves snow about as much as I like a lobotomy, he is Marvelous Marcus Buckley. How's it going, sir?
Well, it's pretty good. You know, Northwestern won the other night. Illinois playing tonight, so at least I got some college hoops to root for.
Oh yeah, Illini, baby, Illini.
Yeah. Well, you know, if I had a dog in the hunt for March Madness, then I'd be right there with you because I love tournaments. Here's one thing. My alma mater, Indiana State University, was supposed to be in this tournament, and they got shut out for whatever reason. They got snubbed. Now, since you guys are basketball fans, can you explain to me why the hell that was done?
All right, I can explain it.
Okay.
NCAA has this thing that it depends on who you play, how many big names you play, and strength of schedule.
Mm-hmm.
They don't think ISU had a strong enough strength of schedule to be able to be in the top 64.
Right.
I honestly have to disagree with it. I think ISU should have went, and I'm not an ISU fan.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, you know, the tournament people, they just do what they do. You know, I mean, it's almost like, you know, Vince McMahon when he was in charge of WWE, he just did what he did, you know.
And then when a school like North Carolina State beats a team like North Carolina, who's guaranteed to go, then North Carolina State takes away a spot from a team like ISU.
Yep.
Other thing.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not part of the.
It's happened plenty of times, man. It like what was the school out of Chicago that made it to the Sweet 16?
Loyola.
Yeah, Loyola Illinois University.
Yeah, my alma mater.
They wouldn't. They thought they was gonna get blew out the first round.
Mm-hmm.
They made it all the way to the Sweet 16, killed everybody.
Final Four, not even that. Final Four.
Oh yeah, it was the Final Four they made it to. Yeah, they killed everybody.
Yeah, so speaking of getting blown out and what people's chances are, how far you think Purdue is going to go?
Semifinals.
Yeah.
I think they'll make it semifinals. The problem is that they meet North Carolina. North Carolina got too much size.
Yeah.
You know, I hate saying it like that because I think underdogs, you know, smaller guys can win sometimes. I'm not a real hater on everything, but But
Well, it's just when it comes to March Madness in Indiana, there's a lot of Indiana ride or die people who, no matter what the Indiana team is, they want to ride them to the final.
oh yeah, they got
Yeah,
their horse saddle and everything on for that one here.
yeah, there's just a lot of pride involved because Indiana is the basketball capital of the world. So
I'm trying to figure out how did they even get that moniker of being a basketball? Because I'm sorry, I honestly feel like this: if you took an Indiana high school and they played a Chicago suburban school, they get killed. We ain't even gonna talk about the Chicago inner city school.
Yeah,
the suburban schools would kill them. Like where I went to Hoffman Estates, that team we had in '94. Golly, we would have. I don't care if it's Ben Davis, Miles Davis, Anthony Davis, whatever the school they was here in Indiana with these teams that they got, they would have got smoked. We were not playing.
I think that it's the moniker because of how much people care about basketball in this state. It's kind of like Texas and football. It's practically a religion in Indiana on the half court.
But see, this is my thing on that. And I know we're getting off the subject. We're supposed to be talking about wrestling, but this
we'll get there.
The thing that I look at is Texas produces some badass fucking squads.
Yeah,
their high school squads are better than some college fucking squads.
Yeah.
Indiana schools ain't nowhere near that caliber.
Well, that's not exactly fair. They do produce some damn good basketball teams. It's just a question of how long the longevity of the individual programs. I mean, for a while, ISU had Larry Bird, and they were unstoppable. Same thing with IU under Bobby Knight. They had a dynasty going. Purdue always has a whole bunch of farm bred boys who hit the court and push the ball through the hoop damn good. So, and you know, you've always got a school like Notre Dame or someone around those lines. That I think it's more that Indiana loves basketball so much that they declared it. They don't always have the best teams, but they always love their basketball.
I think a big reason is because for so long they didn't have a pro team, unless you count the ABA team way back in the day. You know, they didn't have a football team for years. You don't have a baseball team.
Right.
So I think, you know, I think that was a big reason why college basketball was so big, because lack of pro teams.
Well, they still don't have a baseball team. Indianapolis only has a minor league team.
And that's the way it was in Arkansas. You know, I mean, the college teams there are just humongous. You know, because they don't have a professional basketball team. So,
and IU's football team gets their ass kicked like an art form. I don't know why they still have a football team, but IU's football team gets the floor mopped with them constantly.
But I'm sorry, look at their conference. You got Iowa, you got Michigan, you got Michigan State. You should be getting dog walked because they getting everybody.
Yeah, but IU is a huge school with a huge recruitment potential. I mean, the sun should shine on a dog's ass every once in a while. You know?
Question: if you got a son, 5-star recruit, are you sending them to IU or no?
I don't know.
Well, yeah, well, more than likely you send them to Notre Dame. More than likely for football.
See, certain schools are known for certain things.
Right, exactly.
IU is known for basketball. You know, Purdue's known for basketball and football. They kind of a by school. But Michigan, they're known for basketball and football. You know, So, it just depends on the school. But let's get back to wrestling. We got 11
yeah,
minutes.
that was kind of a detour on my part, but we'll continue with we'll get on subject.
Yes. In the first issue of today, which we will be discussing here on the FTW network. I can't do the English accent; it ain't gonna work.
Down versus Booker, King Booker.
All right, but
we shall attempt to indulge ourselves in the world of professional wrestling.
Jolly-o. Okay.
What?
The first subject we're going to be discussing is WWE giving a disservice by having both nights of WrestleMania headlined by two of the same stars. Marcus, go first.
I say they're giving the fans exactly what they want. I mean, well, we know they kind of had to scramble with Punk getting hurt, because I'm assuming, like everybody else, it was supposed to be Seth and Punk. And then they tried to go toward Rock and Roman, and they got all kind of negative backlash from that. But they had to so now that they had the Rock in the mix, they had to figure a way to get him on there, because that's what the people want to see. So I think they're giving the fans exactly what they want based on their reaction, and it just shows the overall lack of stars in the WWE, that they feel it's necessary to do that, especially with Punk going down.
True. I got you. Rob, what you say?
Well, I kind of agree with Marcus, and I kind of don't. I wouldn't exactly call it a disservice. I would call it a patch job. The audience is split on what they want here. Half of the audience wanted the story to be completed, and the other half, who never got into Cody anyway, wanted them to substitute somebody else. And when they tried to shoehorn The Rock into the main event, just based on the fact that Roman is his cousin and he's got a whole bunch of name recognition, it went off the rails with the other half of the audience. Sorry, had to sneeze there. I don't think it's a disservice, but it's certainly an act of desperation, because Marcus hit on something there. The lack of stars is not due to WWE not bringing in enough people. It's they're not elevating enough people. They didn't use LA Knight properly. They refused to elevate people to certain positions at the right time, and they didn't make stars. That's why this is happening, and that's a huge issue with whether bringing back The Rock, bringing back Cena, bringing back all of these names, because they won't make new ones. But no, it's not a disservice, but it's desperation. They should have thought about this years ago, instead of trying to have their cake and eat it too by putting people into the main event just because they've got a name.
All right, let me give you my take on this. I gotta look at it with two different hats: fan hat, promoter's hat. And it's kind of hard, because I get that some people think this is a patch job, just like you, Rob. You think it's a patch job. I hear that a lot. I'm coming to think that I'm not sure if the Rock thing wasn't done on purpose, but the circumstances is what changed it. I think the Rock was supposed to include himself in there. I don't think he's that good of an actor to be able to do this well without having it, I mean, I'm sorry. I love the Rock, but I don't think he could pull this off this well if it wasn't already somewhat planned to go in this direction. All right. I do agree with the Seth part to where Seth got pushed in there because Punk got hurt. But he's totally ignoring McIntyre. Which is like, why are you doing this to this dude? But my thing is also this. They could be doing that on purpose so they think he's underestimating them. And McIntyre comes and wins. They could be doing it on purpose. All right. All Seth Rollins all in his head. He thinks he's this, and this, and McIntyre nothing. And McIntyre comes in there and smashes him. If it's not a quick, kind of like a quick victory, I think it defeats its own purpose.
Yeah, but then that kind of kills Rollins, doesn't it?
No.
We'll get to it.
Because they're booking him to overestimate him because he's cocky, which is Seth Rollins. Now this is going to straighten his head up. He's going to get serious.
Well, they're also working the injury angle with Rollins because
right. One step back will equal 3 steps forward, if you get what I'm saying.
Well, maybe, but I've said it before and I'll say it again. I wish that Bobby Rogers were booking WWE instead of the people they've got in charge of it now, because you're smarter than they are and you would make this work, whereas WWE Creative can screw up a cup of coffee. So, I don't know. I can believe that they might have had this planned before everything went down with Vince, and that they weren't just trying to shoehorn The Rock in last minute in order to distract from that whole scandal. But there's also something else fundamental going on here. I don't believe that WWE ever intended or ever intends to make Cody Rhodes the face of their company. But they've painted themselves into a corner to where they've got to give him something or half the audience is going to walk. So how they get out of that, I don't know, but it's the reality. And just shoving The Rock in there, planned or not, just didn't work.
But this is what I'm also looking at. You have Tama Tonga.
Mm-hmm.
He's related to them some kind of way, I think.
Yeah.
So my thing is, all of this focuses on the rest of the bloodline when there's a lot more of the bloodline out there. Good Lord. I'm sorry. If Roman Reigns or one of his buddies came and said, give me your lunch money, and I'm looking at all 45 of them in the high school, they give my lunch money. All right. I'm not fighting 45 people. You know what I'm saying? It's just not happening. Y'all roll, y'all do the thing. But I think Tama Tonga is going to have something to do with this. And that is their way out. If they are not going to give Cody the title. Or they could be giving Cody the title and Tama Tonga interferes and does something.
Or they could just give Cody a one-night reign and then bring in the shovel.
No.
Which is what I'm afraid of.
No, this is what I'm thinking. Cody has a hard-fought battle where they lose the tag team match. All right? It's Bloodline rules.
Yeah.
Bloodline beats the crap out of Cody, but Cody pulls out the victory. And guess what happens next? Damian Priest runs in. Money in the Bank. Steals it.
Mm-hmm.
Seth Rollins part 2.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that happening.
Well, what I don't see happening is Cody holding the belt for any significant amount of time. And they're going to
No.
use the excuse, well, Dusty never had a long title reign, so it fits the story. Give me a break. They just don't want Cody to be the man.
No, it does fit the story.
Right, but part of Dusty's thing was he was mostly the guy that chased the title. He chased Flair. That was part of what Dusty. That's part of what Dusty's allure works. He only won it 3 times.
I know that, but there's also a flip side to that coin. People lost hope after a while, and that's kind of what drove people to WWF back in the day in the first place. Hogan gave people hope. Dusty gave people hope too, but he always failed. And after a while, the fact that he couldn't hold on to the belt longer than 2 minutes became a detriment rather than because in the territory era that worked. You could chase the belt from territory to territory because the champion always moved. But when it was static in Crockett with Flair, it just looked like they were protecting him because he was all they had. And since he was a heel, it just didn't motivate people, at least not those that didn't love heels.
Let me go ahead and address the Facebook user in the chat. I will be answering that question later on in the broadcast, so stay tuned. I get what you're saying, and sometimes it does get tiresome to see a face always climbing that ladder. He finally reached that peak, and then he loses and drops down and got to start over and climb. And the only way that works with me is if the heel cheats like crazy. But they have that formula right now. They have it to where the bloodline can interfere. They have it to where Tommy Tonga could come in out of nowhere and ruin the match. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they have it with Damian. They have it with Damian Priest, which is another heel who come in and steal it from him up under his nose. You know what I'm saying?
Well, there's multiple ways that they can get around it. That's true. But the question is, should they get around it? And
honestly, it depends on Cody. If Cody really wants to do his dad's thing, him winning the belt accomplishes him winning the belt. But him immediately losing it off of something sneaky is still following his dad's footsteps.
Maybe, you know, but see, I would rather. I've got my disagreements with why Cody is in WWE. I think that he's going to end up treading water and that they're going to drop him down the card and they're going to make him irrelevant eventually. He's got his own fan base that will latch onto him and make them elevate him, but eventually they're going to drop him through the floor, just like they did LA Knight and just like they did to Zack Ryder.
Now hold on. You said now Zack Ryder's a totally different story. I will dare say this, and people will look at the screen at me like I'm a Chinese prostitute. I don't care. But
thank you for joining us on FTW Future Focus.
But I don't think Zack Ryder had the charisma and the standard as a LA Knight, as a Cody Rhodes. He was a mid-card wrestler to me. He was not anybody that I would say could move into that upper echelons and be successful. I just see too many things in him that just made me like, no, I'm sorry, no.
Well, maybe.
But LA Knight though, boy, LA Knight is. I'm sorry.
Well,
yeah.
That's why you're smarter than WWE creative. You see that in LA Knight. The only thing that they ever saw in LA Knight was a joke.
But hold on, wait.
Fans like you and me didn't get the joke. They exploited his merch, and that's why he got a little bit of elevation. But now they're throwing him away.
Hey, Marcus, chime in if you think I'm right on this. If you already have a piping white hot story going, you don't want anything to take away from that. So yeah, I'm gonna put LA Knight on a lower tier. God dog it, a lower tier right now. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna put him on a lower tier right now. So then, we can go ahead and go through that story, and then we could go ahead and focus on Knight to make them piping hot.
Right, because I think LA Knight is just a victim. I mean, when
Right
LA Knight was White Hart, I mean, you didn't have Punk. They wasn't pushing the hell out of Cody like this. So, I mean, I just think he's a victim of circumstance. Because, I mean, you just can't push everybody at once. I think if LA Knight stays hot, then they will come back to him. But let's not forget now, we know how WWE works. And, I mean, he wasn't their chosen one. I mean, see Kofi Kingston, see Daniel Bryan. I mean, we can go on and on about that. But I do think he was just a victim. I mean, look how out of nowhere Jey Uso got over. So eventually, with Jey Uso getting over, with Punk coming in, unfortunately, AJ coming back, Randy Orton coming back. I mean, it just knocked. I don't think it was intentional on WWE part. I just think the people spoke, and they just LA Knight is still over, but now you got about 5-6 guys just as over as he is right now.
Well, see, Marcus, that's where the chosen one formula that WWE has falls apart. Because if you got 5 or 6, you got 5 or 6 fires going, and you have to put out 4 of them in order to elevate your own plans, maybe you need a different plan. And that's my whole frustration with WWE, is that instead of stoking the fire under 5 or 6 different people and walking and chewing gum at the same time, they have to drag down everybody but 1 or 2 guys. That's why Kofi failed. That's why Bryan Danielson didn't get as far as he should have. That's why, and that's why they end up alienating half the audience, because these guys do get over with hard work, and then they get screwed either due to circumstances or due to lack of creativity. And that's my whole issue with WWE. If they could fix that, then I wouldn't be bitching like a little girl.
Yeah, but you know what? There's only so much TV time. And also, I forgot to mention that The Rock came back as well. And so those are all baby faces. So who are you putting LA Knight with to make us stay interested? Now, my personal opinion is I would have put him with Logan Paul. That's the match I would have went with. The program I would have went with to keep LA Knight, keep LA Knight's interesting.
Well,
Personally, that's but I mean, there's only so much TV, and you see with guys like The Rock taking up as much time as he wants, and of course Randy Orton back. That's a big freaking deal right there.
It is. Right. But and Marcus, there are several combinations of feuds that you could put together in that scenario. And again, you are smarter than WWE Creative, because they're not doing that. Instead of working on multiple levels, they're suppressing. And The Rock is part of that. The Rock is part of the problem. He should not have come back. He should have just joined the TKO board and been part of that, instead of getting on camera and smothering everybody else, because that's what it amounts to. You're right, he takes up all the airtime, and there is limited airtime, but they could use it a whole lot better. Raw is 3 fucking hours. They could fill that with 5 feuds. They could.
Well, yeah, they could, but Rob, let's be honest. I know you may not be the biggest Rock's fan, but the WWE universe has been wanting Rock back for the last 3-4 years. I mean, on that, they listen to their fans on that one.
Half of the WWE universe wanted the Rock back. The rest of them are Cody crybabies, apparently, which is something else that pisses me off about this whole thing, because WWE is passive aggressively shitting on fans that wanted the continuity to continue in the logical fashion. They're calling half the audience called them out on their shit, and they used The Rock's words in order to criticize them for not consuming product.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I agree with you to a certain extent that LA Knight has been pushed down to a certain extent, but at the same time, I can understand because, I mean, Punk is a bigger star than LA Knight. Randy Orton is a bigger star than LA Knight. The Rock is a bigger star than LA Knight. So those guys coming in, I mean, somebody's getting pushed down. And unfortunately, it's been Jey Uso. It's been LA Knight. Fair or unfair, is debatable. But we know how wrestling works, particularly WWE. They're always going with the bigger star. If Bruno Sammartino could come back from the grave, guess what? Somebody's getting pushed down. It's just what it is.
And if you're an intern and can get $12 million,
thank you for joining us on FTW Future Focus. Bobby, that was shitty. That was literally shitty. Oh my God.
well, from what I heard, yeah, some of the acts work.
Thank you for joining us on FTW Future Focus. Oh,
Too soon. Too soon.
Matter of fact, it was literally a shit head.
Oh, thank you for joining us on FTW.
Hey, I had to get one in for Tony. I had to get one in.
Oh God. Well,
I heard old girl got 2 or 3 in.
oh, thank you for joining us on FTW Future Focus.
That's
oh,
it. That's
The
it.
good old number 2.
Thank you for joining us on FTW Future Focus. And ladies and gentlemen, without the assistance of Tony Motown Allen, we have reached the magic number of 300. Mastermind Bobby Rogers just broke the clock, which means that I have a special proposal. Since next week is Easter, and we would like to have a cleaner show because of the holiday, I make this proposal. Instead of next week having our no thanks episode, we wait until WrestleMania weekend and we have a no thanks WrestleMania. Both nights, thank you for joining us is banned. I can't say a damn thing, and the crew gets as raunchy as they want all WrestleMania long.
And so could that intern.
Thank you for joining us on FTW Future 301. Oh, dear God.
Okay, let's get to the next subject because I have an unexpected visitor coming here. Jade Cargill. She is going to be making her debut on Smackdown this Friday. Will it be successful? And will it show what AEW is missing in their production? Rob.
All right, since I am the AEW advocate here,
Yeah.
I will chime in first. Yeah. Of course, it's going to be handled well because they've had a long time to plan it out and map it through. So they're going to make Jade look good. There's no doubt about that. And since it's on Fox, it's going to be an even bigger deal, so on and so forth. Jade's going to look great. As far as like showing up AEW in their presentation of Jade, that's a tougher road to hoe because they did give Jade Cargill a 60-0 undefeated streak. They did showcase her in some pretty damn good matches. And aside from production quality and lack of opponents, arguably, I thought that Jade was presented fine in AEW. She was presented as a star and a opponent killer. So yeah, SmackDown after they've waited months and months to debut her, so it's finally going to happen. So it's going to make a big splash, but I'm not exactly sure whether it's going to showcase upstage AEW, or whether it's just going to elevate Jade and show that they were right to elevate her in the first place. I don't think it's really about AEW. It's just about whether Jade is as good as people make her out to be. Marcus, what's your take on it?
I pretty much agree with everything you said. Um, I mean, the debut is going to be fine. They're going to get an enhancement talent, to let her get all her shit in, and she's going to look good. She's going to show how strong she is. She's going to come out in some kind of little sexy outfit. She's gonna do what Jade does. Now, in terms of will it show up AEW? I say no, because she's going to be presented exactly the same way. She's going to be dominant until she finally they put her in with somebody, relevant. They'll put her in with Natty or the crazy chick that was with Alexa Bliss. What's her name? I forgot her name. But she'll start them. She'll get with them in about a month or so, and it's just going to be the same thing with her over and over. Because in my opinion, they have taken so long to debut her because they're not happy with her actual wrestling skills yet. And I think she's far enough along, and I think they're going to put her with somebody like a Natty, or somebody that can actually work to develop her skills. So for the time being, they aren't going to show AEW anything. They're going to show AEW exactly what she was when she left. She's somebody with the it factor that has tons of potential, but in terms of decent mic skills at best, and she looks like a star. But will she be able to wrestle with Bianca, Rhea, Charlotte, Bailey, without them completely carrying her like a Gucci bag? Then that remains to be seen.
It does. It does. Well, I don't. I'm in the camp that Jade Cargill is a lot more talented than she's been than we've been led to believe. She did get some training from Brian Danielson while she was still in AEW, which is probably the best place that she could get that kind of training from him. But I think one of the factors in her late debut being this, and I agree with you that it was really late. I think they wanted to retrain her in the style that WWE wants her to work. Now, whether that's going to look as good against Rhea, Charlotte, Becky, Bailey, Bianca, or Asuka, that remains to be seen. Uh, I think that she's going to get there eventually, but I'm not really sure whether she's going to work a conventional WWE style to get there. That's a big question in my eyes. Bonus question, Marcus, while Bobby is out. Um, who do you think her first major feud should be with? Jade.
Well, I think it should be Natty. I would love. I don't know how much WWE does house shows anymore, but she should really do a house show circuit with Natty. I mean, I don't know. I know Bobby definitely has a trained eye, and he says that she's gotten better. To the little I've seen of Jade WWE, Jade does, as far as I'm concerned. But again, I'm only a fan. I don't have the trained eye, so when he says he sees something, I take his word for it. But I
Mm.
but I really think that she really needs to work with someone like her to get her ring down. I mean, she can practice and the performance as much as she wants. It's just like any sport. You only get better by doing it.
Mm.
So I think her first program should be with Natty to start with.
Yeah, that's a good choice, and I would agree. And I've never been in the ring, but I can understand why Bobby would choose Natty for the first feud. Um, I wouldn't mind seeing her in there with Asuka.
Oh,
Actually,
yeah.
that
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Not.
No, I wouldn't mind seeing her in there with Asuka for her first or second feud. But the one that I'm really looking forward to is Jade versus Bianca. That would be. I really want to see those two get into a snap fight with each other, cut merciless promos against one another, and then like pay it off in the ring together.
Well,
That would amuse me.
Yeah.
Bobby, what's your take on all this?
Jade Cargill. I'm kind of torn. And I know you're going to be shocked I'm saying I'm torn, but I'm torn because we don't know what damage AEW has done when it comes to the WWE style. You know what I'm saying? We don't know if they're totally conflicting or is it something that she can modify. This all depends on her. I think she has the intelligence to do it. I think she has the will to do it. But will she be able to execute it is what remains to be seen. I pray to God the production value was there because AEW's production value was not there, but they did a good job with her. So if they did a good job with less than what WWE has, I'm looking for like this knockout, explosive, eye-catching, entrance that just makes me look like, God, dog, go ahead, Jade, I just don't think it's the right time.
Yeah.
I don't think Smackdown was the right time. If she debuted, she should have debuted at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
You think they debut at WrestleMania?
Yes.
Okay. Who the opponent be for you?
Natty.
Natty on WrestleMania? Jade versus Natty?
Yeah.
Oh God.
No, but hear me out though.
Okay.
Jade is a spectacle on her own without even stepping in that ring. Natty can work that match to where it could be a 4-minute Goldberg style match. It'd be a 4-minute Goldberg style match.
So,
Natty comes in, hits a couple of things. Jade reverses it, takes over, powers out, powers her up, hits her with the finish, leave.
Mm-hmm.
That can be done at the WrestleMania.
see, the problem I see with that is I'm really scared where they place that match. If they place that, I can see that being the piss break match, and nobody sees her. I think that would be a bad idea if they did that.
I don't think it would because everybody's wondering what she's going to come out and do. So I don't see it as a piss break match. I see it as somebody, they're like, okay, wait a minute, hold on, this is Jade Cargills. I got to see what she can do.
I would put it at the beginning of night one. If that were like the opening.
No.
The
match, no.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Yeah.
Second.
Okay.
Second.
All right, second. That's acceptable.
I would put it second.
Yeah. I wouldn't put it in the middle, though.
No.
Yeah.
Everybody's hyped up off the first match. The second match always is a little less.
Yeah.
You put Jade in that spot, okay. We never seen her.
It would flow better.
Okay, yeah, maybe people ain't got to piss by the second match. So
Right.
that works.
At least not the non-diabetics in the audience. I only speak for myself.
Only depends on when the doors open.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that too. And how long the pre-show is, because God knows that lasts forever now.
Yeah, they yap on that one. Yeah.
Ugh.
All right, let's go to the what is it,
You tapped out.
You tapped out. Let me
Marcus
go first.
okay, go ahead.
Go first because
Marcus goes next because he's the inventor.
Yeah, mine is short, sweet. It was AEW this week. I just couldn't watch the show. I could not watch Dynamite. It was a firecracker to me. I couldn't do it. I tried to watch it as much as possible, and I couldn't even make it through. I couldn't make it through the third match. I don't know what it is, but I'm trying to watch AEW, and it's like physically making me revolt. So yeah, I can't do it. Yeah, unfortunately, AEW Dynamite gets my tapped out moment.
Marcus?
Okay. I know Willow was your girl, Bobby. Okay. And I know it was only Rampage, which nobody watches or nobody give a fuck. Okay. I understand that. I understand that. But goddamn it, if last week wasn't bad enough with Rio versus Willow, now they give us a fucking street fight with Willow Statlander, who's actually good, I think, against Julia Hart and fucking Sky Blue in a street fight. Okay,
Are you serious?
needless to say, I don't know what happened because, like my inner Jim Cornette, I didn't watch that bullshit. Okay, but I mean, why? What the fuck is this with this thing with these ladies lately? Now you got another fucking a meaningless street fight on a meaningless show as your main event. I mean, I don't know what the hell is going on here. I mean, what the fuck? I mean,
They're trying to showcase the women's division more.
well, I can't tell. I can't tell. They showcasing it the wrong way. Show how messed up it is. If that's what they're trying to do, then you get an A+ for that. I mean, this is abysmal. I'm like, are they fucking serious, really? But that's my tap out.
My tap out moment this week actually goes partially to Tony Khan because of the again, rumor mill, the possible release or potential release or continued punishment of Jungle Bitch Jack Perry. I am so sick and tired of this little privileged turd. I don't want to hear about him anymore, and he should have been fired the day after All in London.
Okay.
This little turd, Perry, basically tried to sabotage the biggest wrestling event in the last quarter century with a spoiled brat's prank. And in some ways, he succeeded. So my tap out goes to the fact that Tony Khan should have fired Jack Perry's ass a long time ago. And the fact that the rumors are just now that he could or could not be getting his release just gives me the red ass. Jack Perry should have been thrown out on his head a long time ago. That's my tap out this week.
I can't agree with you more.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I used to be an advocate for Jack Perry. I thought that a proper heel turn, would do him good. But apparently he decided to show his ass at an inappropriate time, and because he was butt buddies with the Bucks, he thought that he could get away with it. And he ended up nearly fucking up one of the best moments in wrestling history in a long time, in mine and a lot of other people's opinion. And I lost any ounce of respect I had for that little shit. Fuck Jack Perry. And I digress.
No, ain't no digression. You tell the truth. Fuck him.
I totally agree. Fuck yous.
Let me give a
My
report.
language, my language got a little juicier. I went the mastermind route there, but you know that's it deserves it. When I use F-bombs, it's necessary.
Yeah.
So you say I use it when it's not necessary?
No, I say you use it with more effectiveness. I use it when I have to. You lob grenades. I just kind of shoot off bottle rockets.
I'm just gonna leave that one there.
Thank you for joining us on FTW Future Focus. That was not what I meant. It just came out that way. Oh, good Lord. See what I mean? You throw grenades. Damn it to hell. Moment.
Right. Moment.
I think we should let Marcus go first so we can recover.
Okay. My moment was the back and forth promo with Roman and Cody. I thought this was excellent. I thought they did exactly what they're supposed to do, and that was to make us even more interested in this match. I love it where they kind of put the doubt in your head. Well, can you trust Seth? Well, can you trust Rock? I mean, they really both took some good shots at each other. And Roman right now, in my opinion, may be the best promo in wrestling right now. I mean, his mannerisms, his facial expressions. I mean, right now he's without question on top of his game. And I love the end when first Solo and Jimmy comes out, then Jay and Seth comes out. I mean, well done. That was, to me, practically done perfectly. I truly enjoyed that last 10 minutes of the show. That's my moment.
All right. My moment came from Dynamite this week. It was the ending of the I Quit match between Christian Cage and Adam Copeland. We have criticized rightly on this panel the fact that AEW doesn't do enough storytelling. Well, there was a shitload of storytelling at the end of that match. They threw everything at it, and as opposed to your moment, Marcus, where they did the promos countering each other, this story was told the way I like it, exclusively in the ring. And Copeland and the leftovers from the Jericho Appreciation Society, they did justice to all of the evil shit that Christian Cage has been doing for months and months now. And I thought they paid it off brilliantly. You thought that Christian was going to screw everybody again, but he ends up getting annihilated. And I really appreciated the way that they pulled all of that off. And now the TNT title is with Adam Copeland, and I just loved that whole segment, especially since they paid it off in the ring. That was my moment.
Well, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Do you think they overdid it with the ball shots?
Kind of, but given how much of a scumbag Christian has been, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it on this occasion because Christian deserved it and deserved it badly. So I was laughing more than cringing.
But Bob, Rob, a spiked bat in the balls. Come on.
I know, but
Just saying.
They were hearkening back to ECW. ECW did stuff like that. It was over the top. But when guys like the Dudleys did it, it was entertaining. I mean, when Heatwave 99, when New Jack came down to the ring after he was acquitted with all of the silly ass stuff that he used as plunder, I didn't cringe when Devon and Bubba were selling that shit. I mean, you remember the dinosaur to the balls with the bat that New Jack did to Bubba? That's ridiculous shit, but it worked because of who New Jack was. And I thought this worked because of who Christian was.
Okay.
But I thought it was masterful storytelling in the ring. And that was my moment. Bobby, what have you got?
Read your messages, guys, in the private chat. I have to say the women of WWE. The women of WWE really stepped up this week and really showcased a lot of talents. I have always said to women we're going to step up and do something in WWE and make a major noise, and this is the time I think they're going to end up doing it. These ladies are really putting forth some pieces that make my jaw drop. Their wrestling has gotten 100%, 100,000 times better. Their storytelling and mic skills have improved 3,000 times better. I mean, I just can't. I can't brag on them so much. Yeah, I just can't. I can't put it into words.
They've got a good division.
Yeah, I mean it's in some cases a lot. It's a lot entertaining to me than the men's.
The evolution is real.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, check this out. I got a unexpected visitor right now. So we are going to cut this short. We're going to continue our other questions until next week. And then we're also going to go ahead and review WrestleMania Night 1. Is it going to be Bloodlust or Bloodline? We don't know.
Well, okay. Next week is Easter, so I guess we can table the rest of our questions until later, and then do a preview of Night 1 or both on Easter Sunday. I'm not sure how that's going to work, Bobby, but we'll get there.
Yes, we will. Ladies and gentlemen, Marvelous Marcus, thank you for joining us.
That one don't count.
See, I did that there. Robert Black, you're not humble correspondent. Thank you very much. I am the mastermind, Bob Rogers. You're not so humble host, crazy man, and a foul mouth commentator. Yes.
Only when I need to be.
Yeah. No, I was talking about me.
Well, that remains to be seen. I have never heard you curse on commentary, but the day may come.
That's true. But guys, everybody stay safe. Be cool out there. And we will definitely see you in the future.
Hit it. Oh, how you feel, brother? Feeling good. You feel good? Feeling good. It's groovy. There's so much bone, brother. How you feel, man? I feel all right. I call your name. I don't want no people to know you're in here. How you feel, fella? Hey, Jam! Sure getting down. Look at him! Ha! We're gonna have a funky good time. 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 Let's take 'em up, Fred. We gotta take you high. Yeah. Ow! All right. You wanna do it again? Now? Yeah.